All right, I'd like to show you how I plan to use Google Slides to digitize some of those graphic organizers or worksheet-like materials that I planned to assign to students, but now that I'm toggling this hybrid thing, right, I have to figure out how to digitize a few of those things. Now, to be honest, I'm not much of a worksheet teacher. I would encourage you to try to find digital tools and leverage G Suite, for example, to be able to move away from some of those things anyway. But if there's a moment like mine where I need to collect students' thoughts and I want it organized in a certain way, Google Slides just might be your answer. So I'm going to walk you through what I plan to do. And my example here is only my rough draft, but hopefully it'll trigger an idea for you that you could apply to your own classroom. For those of you that are wondering, I've really got this graphic organizer I want students to complete. How am I going to do that? Sure, go ahead and have students install Kami or DocHub, but then you also then get to go through that experience of trying to have them work with the tool, download the file, and upload it to Classroom. Right now, I just don't have the time or the patience to juggle that. Google Slides is I think, going to offer you an easier workflow for you and your students. So follow me along and see if this triggers an idea for you. So I'm in Google Slides, launched a blank presentation. The first thing I'm going to do is get rid of all this text, these text boxes. I don't want any of them. So clear slate here. Now I could work with this in this size, but I just really feel like I need it to look like a sheet of paper. So I've clicked, just so you can see what I did here. I went File, Page Setup, and then I'm going to flip this over to Custom, and I want 8.5 by 11 inches. All right. So again, you don't have to do it that way. I just feel like I need it that way for some reason. And now I want to insert a table. So I'm going to go Insert Table, but I will tell you lots of teachers often go Insert Shapes to create that graphic organizer look to it. Or they might insert images and start adding clip art and things like that. I just really want a table, and I think I want it 2 columns by pretty sure 6 rows. And so now I've got my table here. I'm going to drag it. For me, I want it the full size of my quote unquote paper. And here we go. Something like that. Good enough. And I want to change the thickness of it. So I'm going to go 8 and change the color. Yeah, I kind of like that. Now I will say my graphic organizer, I don't need all these boxes, so I'm going to merge a few. So I'm going to highlight the row, right click, merge cells. So I'm going to do that for all the cells I want merged. And again, you could insert shapes too. Like if you wanted a circle over the center, like when you have kids do definitions of words and you have the word in the middle and the antonym, the synonym, the example, something like that, draw it, whatever, that all can be done using shapes. And so I'm getting closer here. All right, so I've got the kind of the skeleton of my graphic organizer. Now I'm going to type here what I want the kids to respond to. All right, so I've typed some stuff here. These are the prompts. I don't like the font size, first of all, so I'm going to highlight all of this. And notice it did not pick up that one box that I split. There we go, starting from the top. And then I'm going to increase the font size. I don't like to play with the fonts a lot. Some kids really struggle reading text online. And so I know that's boring for some people, but be kind to your students with color and font. Some kids can't handle font, and you do have colorblind students that will not be able to read or distinguish very easily the 5,000 colors on the page. So think palette and readability, right? So as a rough draft, I'm just going to leave this alone for now. So right now, especially if you had shapes and clip art, your students would be able to move this all around if you shared them with this as is. What I'm going to do is click File, Download as a JPEG. So now I'm downloading this as an image. Now I'm going to click File, New, Presentation. And I would go back and rename this so I didn't lose it later, but for this video, I'm just going to let it go. So I'm going to highlight all this text, all these text boxes, get rid of it all. Click File, Page Setup. Try that again. File, whoop, Page Setup, and make this the same size I had before. Okay. Now click Insert Image, Upload from Computer, and go get the image you just downloaded. Isn't that great? And you could make it the full size of the paper if you want. And you still could insert another text box, or shape, I should say, if you wanted, but I wouldn't. Students are going to move that around, right? So now let's just focus on those text boxes. I'm going to click Text or Insert Text Box. Same thing. So I'm going to click my, and do that text box sign here, icon, and draw my text box. And now you do want to write in here, write text, write answer here. Sure. Just to give kids a clear indication of where they're supposed to type. And I'm going to make that a little larger. I don't know if they'll see that. And then I'm going to copy and paste this text box. So I'm going to go copy it. On a Mac, it's Command C and then Command V to paste. But if you didn't know your shortcut keys, you can just highlight your text box, click copy, right? Control C, Control V for paste, right? So I'm going to keep doing that and dragging my text box. Notice I'm going to do that split one last until I get just where I need to be. Kind of grooving with all this. One more. And this one I'm going to shrink then, and then copy this one and paste it over here. Nice. All right, so now that I'm done with this, I am officially done. Now I'm going to jump into Google Classroom and assign this, but make sure I click as an assignment, right, with a topic and a due date, etc. But I'm going to assign each student their own copy. Now, this only lets them move text boxes. And kind of I just digitized my graphic organizer, right? So use it for what it's worth. Maybe it'll help you, inspire you. Let me know if you need any help or have any questions. Good luck. Should hopefully help you out. Bye.